There's a piece of legislation that is fundamentally changing the rules of how you manage people. The Employment Rights Act. Most of the senior leaders I speak to know it exists, but very few have actually reckoned with what it means for how they lead. Because here's the tension. The legislation is stripping you of flexibility. The processes are longer, the thresholds for action are higher, the legal risk is real. And if you're running a business, you may have been briefed or attended a webinar about it, you've nodded, you've moved on. What the legal experts probably didn't tell you, because it's not their job, is that at exactly the same time as the law is making you less agile, your people have been becoming more complex. Your workforce is not average anymore. Each person on your team is carrying something different. From the world, from their life, from the last few years of relentless disruption. The employee who was predictable in 2019 is not the same person in 2026. The mental health landscape alone has changed the nature of what sits in your one-to-ones. So you've got legislation making the formal route harder, and people complexity making the informal route harder. And most leaders are sitting in the middle of that squeeze, hoping they don't have to deal with anything too difficult. But that's not a strategy. That is avoidance with a commercial cost. Because here's what I know from working with leaders at this level. The conversations that don't happen early, the honest ones, the uncomfortable ones, the ones you put off because the timing's not right, those conversations happen eventually. They just happen later, more expensively, and usually in a format you didn't choose. Absence, grievances, tribunal cases. The leaders who are navigating 2026 well are not the ones who have got the best legal advice. They're the ones who have got the courage to have the right conversations before they become the expensive ones. I'm Carolyn Hobday. I help leaders de-twat their workplaces, swapping a tired leadership template for one that actually works. Follow and subscribe, because the courageous conversation starts with you.